Yeah, I mean, this loss against Mamelodi Sundowns, they started turning things around, started getting important results. At some point in the season, they were number 2 on the log. And you could see that we're like, okay, this is the golden arrows that we know, but something happened and they started losing games. They started now, maybe the complacency started creeping in. And I'm sure that's the biggest concern for Coach Mabuti Kanyeza. Yes, you look at all the games that they've been playing, the problem is not the opportunity created, it's opportunity taken, because they're not creating any opportunities. We spoke about how early on they concede in the game. This is the first half. They started conceding, and that becomes very difficult for any team to always be on the back end of trailing and chasing the game.
Is it a concern to the way that they are conceding goals?
It has to be a concern because they say if you keep a clean sheet, your chances of getting 3 points are much better. But I have to say that Golden Arrows are a side that is attack-minded. It's difficult for them to come here and sit, so they don't have the players to do that. They've got exciting, quick players, and we can see that the formation that they play is very similar. So I'm sure Mabuti Kanyeza will want the side to continue on that attacking vein. But they say the best form of defense is attack. So they've got to defend as a team, and that needs to start happening from the front. We've noticed a few changes which we'll get into it, but you have strikers that can score goals, but at the same time defending becomes a priority, especially when you find yourself not keeping clean sheets.
And another important thing to look at, Diko, because when you talk about them conceding, is the inconsistencies when it comes to selection for the goalkeepers. Watenga was in the previous game, and today Mulungwana starts.
Yeah, I think it's the biggest concern, because then a goalkeeper gives you that a little bit of confidence at the back. As defenders, as players on the pitch, you want to have a goalkeeper that you can trust, whether aerially, whether being able to stop goals from going in. And you can see that from Coach Mabuti Kanyeza, it's been the biggest concern, because you're unable to find that goalkeeper that is stable. And therefore, that destabilizes the team a little bit in terms of defending. So now you become vulnerable whenever the ball just goes through, because you're thinking, oh my God, there's going to be a goal. If they actually find a suitable goalkeeper, I think Golden Arrows will come back into their confidence. They'll come out of their shell. They'll play freely. Like Stiger said, this is an attacking side. They don't know much how to defend, because the players that they have, they're very attack-minded, but they need to sort out the goalkeeping department.
Is it one of those departments where you don't really want to tinker with a lot of the time, where you want to find that stable candidate?
Yeah, that's defensive abilities for you. There needs to be combinations that's going to work out there, and that's what you need to find. Your right back with your right centre back, your left back with your left centre back, and the 2 central defenders. It's a combination and an understanding that becomes telepathic, and that becomes so important. And we move a little bit forward into the midfield. If you're going to play with 1 6 or you're going to play with 2 6s, they are protecting your defence. So it's a number of combinations that I think Mabuti Kanyeza is going to have to get right.
You're up against one of the sides that are more fancy than you. Enough motivation in that particular aspect, Diko?
Of course. I mean, you want to play such games. You want to play one of the biggest teams. Also, from the coach's point of view, you want to see what you've been playing to the game. And Orlando Pirates is one of those games, especially when you're coming into this game not having good results. You want to turn things around. You want to bring some positivity into the team. And this is the type of game that you might fancy your chances of getting maximum points.
You know what? You just need to look at CT Spurs. Their only victory has come up against Orlando Pirates. Yeah. So Pirates are well aware that whenever they play, it's not an easy game. Even if Golden Arrows never got a result for the last 6 matches, this is the game that they look to turn around. So it's so important, and I'm sure that it is a culture already at Orlando Pirates to say, everybody wants our scope. We need to be at our best all the time.
Yeah, and you look at players like Ndwandwe and the role he'll have to play today.
I mean, we've seen Ndwandwe playing for Golden Arrows for so many years. He's such a seasoned player. Yes, at times he plays different positions because of different responsibilities. When we look at the lineup, you can see that none of the defensive midfielders are on the team. So therefore, in that midfield, and at times also he's a captain, he wears the captain's armband. So there's a lot of responsibility that is on his shoulders, especially in today's game.
Another change for Coach Mabuti Kanyeza is in that front line. Ryan Moon comes in, Mutizwa drops to the bench.
Yeah, proven goal scorer. He's got 2 goals in the league. He's got 2 assists as well. And that is something that he's big on, is the assists, how he brings others into play. We see Tolani is in the starting lineup as well, and he's going to have to play close to him if he's going to be deployed out on the wide or centrally. What Ryan Moon will bring to this side is that he chases down. We spoke about defense being better. He can hold it up, he's good aerially, and he can bring others into play. So it's a different dynamic in terms of the striker. He's replaced Knox Mutizwa. So it's 100% a different tactic today for Golden Arrows that Mabuti Kanyeza is cooking up.
And talking about what Coach Mabuti Kanyeza is cooking up, let's hear from the head coach of Lamontville Golden Arrows in terms of the fight that they want to put out against Orlando Pirates today. Coach Mabudi, I appreciate your time. The team needs a bit of a change when it comes to the form guide, when it comes to good results. Talk me through the offensive changes that you made in today's starting 11.
I think we need to balance sometimes because we've been not scoring for, I don't know, for 3 or 4 games. After 5 games, I think we scored 1 goal. And after that, sometimes we change a little bit of the approach. That's why we put a little bit of lot of offensive players going forward. We will defend when we need to defend and attack when we need to attack.
Another change I see, Coach, and not just in this game, in a couple of games, is the goalkeeping department. A bit unstable at the moment. Please take me through the thought process and the thinking behind that.
I think we need to refresh a little bit of a refreshment of some other players, and then we're happy what they did very well in the games that we played, and I think it's the time again to give so the opportunity to perform to see himself where he is, and then we're fully behind him and then we're supporting him. It's only that tactical change that to keep someone refresh a bit.
What will it take for the team to come out of the slump?
Sorry?
What will it take for the team to really come out of the slump?
No, it's all about to stay positive and then making sure that we don't worry about more what happened before. It's all about the next 90 minutes, the new game each and every time. We are facing Parade now, this 90 minutes, and then we need to apply ourselves, we need to perform, and making sure that we try and match our tactical demands of attack and defense. And then Parade's a good team, we respect that, but it doesn't mean that we can't play and perform and then test them in all the angles. You can see they make changes, even them brought new 2 wingers, and then they brought in Smith again or something like that. But we'll try by all means to push and then take the game to them and then see what we can get from them.
Thank you, Coach. All the best.
Thank you.
The changes for Abafana Bestende from the 2-0 defeat against Chippa United. Fiso Mlongwana comes in goals. Ryan Moon, Brandon Theron, and Tebogo Xolani. Teko.
Yeah, those are the changes. You can see that very offensive changes with Xolani coming in, playing with Zwane as 2 10s, and Ndwandwe be sitting on as a 6 in that midfield. But also what's important as well is you see CB Van Rooy on the right-hand side and the left-hand side to be able to be that supportive act for Ryan Moon up front. But also the biggest concern is that defensive block at the back where Shitolo and Manchiane should be very, very stubborn in that central pairing, and also coming in from the right back and the close also on the left back.
Yeah, you mentioned the right back with Van Rooy, and I like that combination with Van Rooy and Theron. You find in moments that Van Rooy will attack, and then Theron just assumes that position. So I think that's a very solid right-hand side for this Golden Arrows where they could find some joy.
Tico, for Orlando Pirates, what intricacies do they have to look out when you're playing against a side that is desperately in need for points? They want to change that momentum.
Look, whenever you see Van Rooyen on the pitch, you must know there's going to be some sort of a transitional play. He's such a speedy player. And once Golden Arrows allows you to come into their own half, you must know that that's a trap because they want to use Van Rooyen going out. And that's what they did against Kaizer Chiefs. They look so good whenever they come out. So Orlando Pirates needs to make sure that whenever they deploy so many numbers in Golden Arrows half, their rest defense needs to be proper because of those counter-attack that's going to come.
For Orlando Pirates as well, Stig, I mean, they're riding on good momentum, but a key concern for them as well as the traveling side is that they haven't done well away from home. So tactically, how do you think they'll approach this?
I don't think Orlando Pirates really changes tactics. They'll change the personnel. Today we've seen a few changes, and we'll have a look at the team sheet there. But one for me is the wing play. Otladisa, I think, comes in here. If he's going to be on the left-hand side, that is the strength of this Orlando Pirates side, with Dion Hotto providing overlapping and underlapping as well on that left-hand side. So it's Orlando Pirates, I think, that they'll never change the way they play, but they have so much depth and they can create so much attacking options. We see Kumvidi as well coming in there. He brings a different dynamic. They're very free-minded, so he can come from a central position. Maswangani is able to play at a number of positions as well. So it's very difficult to plan for them. They don't change it, a lot of movement, but that structure stays the same.
And talking about a structure that remains the same, Tico, you had touched on how Lamontville Golden Arrows tend to have a bit of lapses in concentration when it comes to the early stages of the game. Do you see Orlando Pirates utilizing them trying to push them against their backs?
Yeah, I think they do have an opportunity. I mean, Orlando Pirates have so many players that can actually change the game at any given moment. This is one of the players as well that comes into the starting lineup. That defensive solidarity that he has in the back, playing against his former team as well. He knows is very familiar in the space, but also it's so important commanding at the back there. Be able also, because this is also a Orlando Pirates team that wants to start playing from the back. So that's a player that's going to be key in terms of that.
Another player that wants to raise their hand in terms of the AFCON squad selection. But we look at a player that will need to bring in some level of creativity. Stega, that is Katlego Utladisa, a player that now starts his first game this season in the DSTV Premiership.
Yeah, just what you mentioned there. When you've joined a new side and it's your first start, trust me, the pressure's there. So fortunately for him, the coach has been bleeding in him slowly, coming in as a substitute. He has made an impact. You could see the quality why Orlando Pirates has signed Otladisa. But today is a test for him. Can he compete with Lodge, that's on the bench? Can he compete with Pule? Maswanganyi's been playing on the wing. So it's a massive game for Otladisa and his future at Orlando Pirates today. It might sound a bit harsh, but how you start at a big side sets the tone. If you're going to be here, move on to Europe, get into the national team. So a massive game for him, but he has the ability to do so. We've seen that.
Bold statement from Stega in terms of the expectation from Utladisa in today's game. Let's hear from the head coach of Orlando Pirates, Coach Jose Rivero. Coach, appreciate your time. When you look at the form guide for the both teams, it's different right now, but which aspects will determine the approach from Orlando Pirates?
Well, it's an away game. It's always a little bit different. We really need to apply ourselves. It's a team that, like you said, is not probably in the best moment of the season, but they show early in the season what they are capable to do. And this is a different game usually. The motivation is going to be there. We need to apply ourselves in the basic things, in the duels, in the concentration, in set pieces, to make sure that we can be solid and little by little get control of the game, and probably, for sure, we're going to have opportunities enough to get the lead.
Orlando Pirates has really had a torrid time when you look at their travels this season. Talk me through the changes that you've implemented today to ensure that the team walks away victorious.
No, like I used to say, I'm very lucky to have the opportunity to choose within a fantastic group of players. Today we have 3 different names on the start 11 if we compare with the last time, but it's a guaranteed start 11 with fresh players, with players that have the opportunity to show that they can contribute in this moment of the season, and we are more than confident with them.
You talk about winning a lot of duels. You talk about a lot of maybe creativity, because that's something I'm reading into the starting 11. But I want to understand tactically the plan for Golden Arrows.
I think if you see the start 11s, both teams, I think the approach is quite offensive. Even Arrows is showing that they want to be in control with the players that they put in the start 11 today. So it's going to be a good fight for the possession, for the control, and like I said, hopefully little by little we can impose our tempo, our rhythm, and make it difficult for them to cope.
Thank you, Coach. All the best.
Thank you so much.
Let's look at the changes for Orlando Pirates. As mentioned, Katlego Utladisa comes in, and Kosinati Sibisi is another one, Karim Kimbuiri.
Yeah, he took his name off my lips. He'll be playing in a central position. Very much a bit of a free role, but in this Orlando Pirates side, there's a defensive duty for him. And he's been coming on nicely. You could see that he fades out 65, 70 minutes when he does start. But the fact that he's starting, tactically, he's adapting to what Jose Rivero expects from him.
All right, Teko Modise, score prediction, please.
You caught me off guard there. I think there's 2 sides that are out there to try and win the game, or very offensive lineups. And I see Orlando Pirates with all the firepower, especially looking at the bench. They do have Arsenal that can actually come in and change the game for them. I see Orlando Pirates winning 1-0.
All right, let me take you through our lineup in commentary today. We do have a Margaret Gleason, complemented by Stanton Stega Fredericks, and that is an English commentary. In isiZulu, we do have Ubabu Zama Masondo and Kasesotho Kalilimi Lamarena. It is Arnold Rankoko. It's a shubi. Stay connected to DSTV this festive season, and of course, enjoy everything that we will will be sending your way. But also enjoy the live cricket. And of course, the SA20 does start in Jan and ends in Feb. So ensure that you get your tickets. But also, Big Brother Mzansi. And obviously, I'm looking forward to seeing some of the new housemates. With that said, will Lamontville Golden Arrows get their first victory against Orlando Pirates since February 2021? That is the big action. The action follows after this.
Ain't no stopping us, we do the impossible.
The Premier Soccer League is proud to present football entertainment at its best.
Ain't no stopping us, we do the impossible.
The DSTV Premiership. Electrifying, thrilling, energetic, sensational. The DSTV Premiership. Babise bonke.
Live in your world, bet in ours. Experience selected slots exclusive to Sporting Bet.
Slay my name when no one is up. Oh, ho, ho, how's it? I'm Father Freshmas, and I've got some news that will jingle your bells. Follow me. Welcome to the Pick and Pay ASAP 30 million rand Christmas. This Freshmas, we're gonna make it rain, dear. With guaranteed prizes from 35 rand to 100K, you better tap tap ASAP.
There's a lot that goes into a Toyota Vitz, so to get it all into just 30 seconds, I've asked for a little help.
All right, take it away. What do you say? 4.4 litre fuel consumption, touchscreen, central locking, power steering, electric windows, park distance control, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, airbags, ABS, and an EBD, and a VSC, and an HSC, 7 color options. Look at that, boot space, sold.
Well, I'm sold.
Toyota Vitz, more car, less cash.
Wherever you are, let our sport be the gift that keeps on giving. December on Supersport, your world of champions. Stay connected to DSTV this festive season.
Lamontville Golden Arrows were amongst the front runners near the start of the season, second place behind SUNDOWNS in the opening months of this DSTV Premiership campaign, but 5 defeats in a row sees them now drop down to 7th place in the league standings. They are looking for a change in form here today. Orlando Pirates are the visitors here at Hammersdale. Welcome everyone to the Mpumalanga Stadium. The Buccaneers come into this game 6 matches unbeaten and have not conceded a single goal in all 6 of those games. It's now 564 minutes since Cape Town Spurs. Jared Morol was the last player to score against them. 9.5 hours without conceding, and they'll be looking to do much the same here this afternoon as they seek to move up as high as 3rd in the standings. They start in 5th place, and if they win, will go above Cape Town City into 3rd spot. 22 points from 13 games for Orlando Pirates. Arrows just 2 points behind them. Traditionally, Pirates have dominated this fixture in the past. They have won 28 of 51 past meetings. Arrows have only beaten Pirates 7 times in 51 meetings. But if the stats are anything to go by, we could be in for a little bit of a long afternoon. 7 of the last 13 games between these two sides have ended in goalless draws. It is hot, it is humid, but there is a decent crowd here today to watch one of the big teams, a rare visit to Hammersdale for Orlando Pirates. Stanton Fredericks alongside me as our expert analyst. Contrast in form between these two sides which would suggest Pirates are the favourites, but never easy for any team away against Golden Arrows.
Yeah, especially with their attacking style, Golden Arrows. You did mention that not the best of results in the last few games for them, but they are ever threatening presence, and I'm sure Mabuti Kanyeza will have his charges charged up for this encounter.
Arrows in the green, out onto the peak. Gladwin Chitolo at the back there with the arms stretched out. Former Orlando Pirates man himself will be looking to prove a thing or two against his old team. Majority of the fans, though, are backing the away side. Pirates have won only 1 of 6 away matches in the league this season, and that was the derby against Kaizer Chiefs. 2 defeats on the road away in Cape Town, and 3 draws, including their last trip to Durban when they were held by Richards Bay. Also drew with Richards Bay in the Carling knockout and lost on post-match penalties in the quarter-final, so this province has not been a happy hunting ground for them at the moment. Bradley Cross in picture there is one of 2 players from Arrows announced in the Bafana preliminary squad of 50 for the Africa Cup of Nations. He was in the final squad for the last 2 World Cup qualifiers against Rwanda and Benin, but still to make his international debut. Now here's a look at the home side. 4 changes, we'll get to that in a moment or two. They're obviously looking to turn things around. 5 successive defeats is second worst run ever in the club history. Yeah, the Buccaneers, they too well represented in the preliminary squad for the national side. So let's introduce you to the lineups for today. We'll start with Lamontfort Golden Arrows. 4 changes, including a first game of the season for goalkeeper Sifiso Mlungwana. He takes the place of Ishmael Watenga. Ryan Moon up front for Mutizwa, Brandon Teron, and Tebogo Tolani, who also has some past business for Orlando Pirates. He was on the Buccaneers books for many seasons, but they consistently loaned him out, never really got a chance to show his worth in the colours of Pirates. So Tabani Zuke also on amongst those who drops to the bench, along with Lungelo Dube and as we mentioned, Lox Mutizwa. For the Buccaneers, 3 changes. They've switched the centre backs around. It was Koki and Nda in the last game against Galaxy. Now Sabisi comes in against his old side. Otladisa gets his very first start in the league, a second start for Karim Kimbudi. You remember that Vincent Pule was concussed in the last match against Galaxy. And on the bench, of course, Temenkosi Loch is back after a club suspension following his conviction for domestic violence. Mr. Bambiso from the Transkei in charge here today, with Oscar Tsotsetsi and Tumi Montlala as our linesmen. And good to see Enoch Molefe here as match official. He was a South African linesman at the World Cup, distinguished match official in his day. Now to the formations and a more expert voice.
Looking at Golden Arrows here this afternoon, it's a 4 at the back, 2 in midfield. 2 changes there. Sees Zwane up against alongside Ndwandwe rather, and Torani will be a little bit further forward. It's his 6th start for Golden Arrows. He'll be wanting to get one against his ex-employee, and Ryan Moon will be looking to get his 3rd as he tries to overcome Orlando Pirates. Looking at them, very similar formation for them. 4-2-3-1. Masangani will be operating in the middle alongside Kimbwidi, and Otladisa start for him this afternoon. Can they supply the goals for Mahopa this afternoon? Away to Golden Arrows.
So Mabuti Kanyeza is under some pressure. Cannot afford yet another loss. He started the season as Coach with Vusi Vilakazi, but he moved on to Chippa. He's now with Richards Bay as a technical director. Jose Rivera in charge of the Buccaneers. We're underway here at Hammersdale. Pirates are defending the goal to the right-hand side. Black colours for them today, if they are unknown to you. One of South Africa's bigger clubs. Last season, a double for Pirates over Arrows, winning against them both home and away. So Jose Rivera has a 100% record as he comes into this match against this particular team. A little bit of early pressure there and a little bit of a panicked clearance too. Rwanda will get his opportunity today, his last start in May against Cape Town City. Malusi Buthelezi continues in goal for Orlando Pirates because Sipho Chine still recovering from injury. Richard Lufori is the backup today. He'll be going to the Cup of Nations with Ghana. A little shove on Ndlondlo. Given away by Trolani.
We did say that Trolani will be playing just in behind Brian Moon and chipping in defensively, trying to make life uncomfortable for the likes of Ndlondlo, as well as Miguel Tim that likes to operate and start the play for Orlando Pirates.
Is that a bit of a surprise, Trolani in the middle? We expected to be much wider, normally out on the flanks.
Yeah, 100% normally operating on either flank easily, Trolani using his pace, but he's also very good with close control and in small spaces, so we'll be watching how he's going to affect the game for Golden Arrows side this afternoon.
Bradley Cross over on the far side, joined at the beginning of the season from relegated Maritzburg United, who also ceded Karim Kimbudi to Orlando Pirates. Brandon Taron moved across here to Arrows, so there was a little bit of a reunion in the tunnel before the start of the game. Kosinadi Sibia has been on the bench for a couple of games, with Indar making a strong push for a regular place, but gets a chance against his old club. Spent 7 seasons at Arrows. Now Kimbudi, left-footed shot across the face of goal, and it is wide. Still to score in South African football, Karim Kimbudi. Even the whole of last season at Maritzburg did not find the back of the net. How close was he there, I wonder?
And that's what makes him so dangerous. Lovely run there. Not defending too well. Element of surprise, that is his strength, Kimbudi.
Just stay with the live action to be 100% sure that we don't miss anything.
Mark, this is a rather small field, so we can expect two teams to be very compact. Pressing lines will be easier for players to close down.
Ndlondlo, that looked headed towards the goalkeeper, but Chitolo cleared it, and it means that they'll have another bite here with Otladisa. Only one start before today was against Jabal, the team from the Comores in the African Champions League, so gets a little bit of vote of confidence from Jose Rivera, the coach, and there's a chance for him to shine. Ndlondlo, Miguel Tim, they played together, you might remember, at Chakuma when they won the Nedbank Cup.
And that was always a confusing one. Do we call them Marumo Gallants or Chakuma MC?
Yeah, halfway through the season it was sold. Otladisa, a little indecisive, but finally out wide to Maswanganyi. He's been consistent so far this season. And Ndlondlo to Otladisa. Ndlondlo. Maswanganyi, edge of the area. Free kick has been won by Orlando Pirates. And Ndwandwe looks at the referee with some bemusement, but
and Ndwandwe playing a different role today. Normally a little bit more further forward, but he'll be asked to play alongside Zwani in that defensive position in the midfield for Golden Arrows.
Dion Hotto, of course, buried the ball in the back of the net against Galaxy last Saturday night. The only goal of the game from the free kick. I'm sure he has first dibs at this one.
Yeah, similar position they mark, but a little bit closer than the last one. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to get it up and over that ball, but the ball has to stand.
Atladisa in the vicinity, but it's Hotto, I'm sure, who's going to have the opportunity with the left foot. Can he get another from a set piece? Taking a while, the referee, to let this go. Hotto chips, goes for the near post, tried something a little different there, but Murungwana took that fairly comfortably. There was not enough pace on this, I think.
Yeah, no, I think a little bit overconfident there, Leon Hotto. But he tried that technique because it was so close to the goal. He didn't necessarily need a lot of power behind it. Innovative stuff there from Hotto. Confidence is sky higher.
And bending down obviously is the decoy to try and put it off. But now what happens if he actually touched the ball, because it's still not in play? Would it have been a handball, do you think, in the other direction? I think not.
No, I don't think so. I think they would have allowed it to have continued there.
Olisa Nda. Trulani, the chase is on here. Ryan Moon back in the lineup, takes the place of Knox Mutizwa for today's game. That's a good ball inside. Looking for Sibia. Brandon Taron. Back from Moon. And Ndwandwe at the heart of everything at the moment for Golden Arrows, but pressure here from Ndlondlo. And then the throw in, it's far too strong. Makaringa again on the right hand side of defense, with Bandile Shandu and Tabisa Munyane still out with injury.
I think we've got to give credit to Jose Rivero for identifying the ability of Makaringa to play at right back. He's had to be innovative with what he has. The unfortunate injuries to, as you mentioned, Mark Munyane as well as Shandu.
That begs the question then, how, I mean, if you're not going to be bombing up and down and you're a fast-paced player with a good cross, how difficult is it to be a right back?
Yeah, extremely difficult. The modern right back is asked to foray forward and be more attack-minded. But I think Makaringa has the attributes to do both.
So that left you then firmly stuck in the middle. Now,
well, that's the first.
Sibisi underneath.
And there was the earlier one where Kimbwidi had a shot on target there. This is where he's strong, very creative, very nimble.
Yeah, we wanted to see how close this was, and Mrungwana actually got a touch to it. That's actually a very fine save. He's a big, beefy man, always has been. Played in the under-23s. Shared the goalkeeping duties with Gumede, and they had the Namibian there, Max Mbayeva, for a fairly long while. Now Watenga joining this season on loan from Mamelodi Sundowns, the Uganda international goalkeeper. He's actually the Uganda number 2 behind Salim from Richards Bay.
Uganda in the Nations Cup?
No, didn't make it with coach Micho.
Sredovic, yeah?
No, they lost out on the final weekend. Coach Micho now the national coach of Libya.
Well travelled in Africa as the ex-Orlando Pirates coach, Militon Sredovic.
Hotto. Ndlondlo straight to the middle. Good strong run here. Was that a arm stretch out by Hotto to try and stop the ball? A little unusual. speaking of internationals, Hotto is on Salio as this ball goes through. Yeah, just seemed to put his hand out somewhat strangely. Hotto will be on the opposing end next month when South Africa take on Namibia in the Cup of Nations. They're in the same group. The last game for Pirates at the end of the year, someone might seek to kick him a little bit. Same with Peter Shalulile.
He'll send a message to Stellenbosch. I think that's when they play them on the 29th. Just to deal with a foreign player.
Over to you, Dino van Rooyen. Unusual on a cup final weekend to have cup matches, but Pirates were participating in African club competition earlier on in the season, so there's a little bit of a catch-up, and of course SuperSport United as well. That's why they played on Friday when they came from behind to take all 3 points against Morocco Swallows.
Yeah, most teams have played about 14 games so far. It's just Mamelodi Sundowns there only played 11.
And football, of course, does not stop this year over the festive period. There are matches on Friday. There's a full program over the weekend, in fact, Saturday and Sunday. Sunday is Christmas Eve. We will have live coverage of Cape Town City versus Mamelodi Sundowns. It starts at 3:30. Come and watch the football and then go home and eat turkey. Maswanganyi. Cladisa involved there. It's Brandon Taron now in possession. This is his 10th start of the season for Arrows. Been pretty consistent since his arrival from Maritzburg. Oh, they're in a bit of trouble there. Got to be careful. Ball was outside the area.
Yeah, no, it looks like Buthelezi wasn't aware of his positioning that time.
Made some very fine stops early on against Galaxy in their last match. They could have been 2 down in the opening 5 minutes at Orlando Stadium last Saturday night. Eventually Hotto's goal ensured the points for the Buccaneers, slowly working their way up the log table.
It's been a bit of a cagey affair. Both sides just sussing their opposition out. Golden Arrows not afraid to play with a high line there, but Iwood's picking it up nicely in the pockets of space. Maswanganyi and Kimbwidi.
If Pirates can get to half-time, they'll be 1 minute short of 10 hours without conceding a goal. Otladisa into the middle. That'll go against Mahopa.
Closing down there, Shitolo, risky. As we see Arrows starting from the back, confidently so.
Otto now feeling the physical presence of Ryan Moon, Otladisa, Sibisi. Taken away, here they come, forging their way through with Zwane, the new signing from Amatax. And Ndwandwe and Sibia rather across to this right-hand side and really does overhit it.
It started out a promising attack there with Ndwandwe winning possession from Ndlondo. And Sibisi just hitting it long, trying to pick out Van Rooyen. It looks like he's deployed further forward this afternoon for Golden Arrows. Van Rooyen, and it's leaving Saran to play at right back.
Golden Arrows only one promotion up into the top flight just after the turn of the century, but are one of the founder clubs of the old NPSL back in 1971. They have a very rich history, Golden Arrows.
And their name it was Golden Arrows before.
Exactly, Le Mans called Golden Arrows, yes. Oh, that looks like a clash with the goalkeeper, and referee has stopped play. Ladisa was always going to come off second best against the man of the physical presence of Sifiso Mlungwana.
He had to be assured in his clearance there, Mlungwana. Great anticipation. You could see they're playing with a high line there. Ladisa making his way in between the defence there, totally unsighted. Great anticipation from goalkeeper there.
The follow-up was a very good opportunity actually for Maswanganyi. Takes a real knock on the head there, Ladisa. We saw last Saturday something similar with Pule, and he played on for a little while and he just went down again, just felt that he couldn't really continue, and they were very quick to get him off, as they should.
They're glad to see he's shaken that one off at Ladisa. He had a good start to the opening 15 minutes here. Some good wing play, some good touches, good confidence, so good news for Pirates that he can stay on. As we speak, there's two players, Dion Hart as well as Ladisa, that's off the field.
Noto's got to get right back into the action here, but Buthelezi will collect this without any threat.
We've seen that against Stellenbosch in the Carling knockout against Polokwane, where Polokwane had two players off the field. Stellenbosch had the presence of mind to start it quick, and they managed to score the first goal there.
They'll be making their way back this morning to the Western Cape with the Carling knockout. Stellenbosch. Success yesterday at Moses Mabhida Stadium, their first piece of major silverware, and there'll be a few parties over the next 48 hours or so, I'm sure. And they have the good fortune of having their next league game against Sekhukhune United postponed. Sekhukhune United are playing in African club competition in midweek and will not be back in time. So Stellenbosch can deal with hangovers a little bit longer.
And then they'll come up against Orlando Pirates on the 29th, yeah.
Pirates on the 29th. Good running here. Equally good challenge from Hotto. He's really turned into a decent left back over the last couple of months. The threat there of Van Roy down the right.
Yeah, a lot of hesitation here from Roy. Had one or two opportunities to cross, and just picking his pocket there, Dion Hotto.
Was with Hungry Lions in the National First Division last season, the Motsepe Foundation Challenge. Tim. Still Tim. Free kick given against him. Don't think it's going to be as high a tempo as we might be used to in the DSTV Premiership today, just for this stifling humidity.
Yeah, it is extremely hot down there on the field.
Certainly have pushed numbers forward here in anticipation of something at the end of this set piece. Let's see if Arrows can break the deadlock. In from Sibia. Maswanganyi to clear under the threat of cross. Not very far though. Ball into the middle. They'll force a corner. Makopa was back helping out with defence. Promising little passage here for the home side. Gentleman Chitolo's forward, Bradley Cross is forward.
I think Ryan Moon will be one of the targets as well.
Zwane has gone there up front as well. Decently sized midfielder. Third game against his old club for Sabisi. Here is the clearing header from Hotto. High ball back in again from Van Roy and collected comfortably by Buthelezi. "20 minutes gone then at Hammersdale." DSTV Premiership action with the Orlando Pirates giving away possession here. Kimbudi has it back. The Montfort Golden Arrows are the hosts, looking to stem a flow of defeats. 5 in a row for them. They scored only 1 goal in those 5 matches. Maswanganyi, Kimbudi, Ndlondlo, Otladisa wide on the left, up against Cross. Cross coming over to the right-hand side.
It's the Golden Arrows staying nice and compact. They don't really press high. You can see them falling back into the middle third. The minute Orlando Pirates enter the zone, that is when they apply the pressure. More than happy to get men behind the ball and wait for that counter-attack.
Top left-hand corner of your picture, you'll see Brandy Cross has gone back to left back. Got the Google Maps correct. Now Nda. Cross with a clearing header. Maswanganyi, can he deliver the cross? Support behind him from Makaringe. Such a tricky customer as Maswanganyi. That's an inviting little ball through, but Otladisa didn't seem particularly interested.
Now we can see that Mabuti Kanyeza certainly worked on the defense. There's a nice and compact. The shifting is done extremely well as well with Ndwandwe and Zwane, just protecting that defense.
He's got another corner for Roy. It's unusual to see a player who was last year in the second tier of South African football playing every single game of his first season up in the top flight. Normally there's a little bit of an adjustment period settling in, but this man from Richie in the Northern Cape has made an impact here at Arrows. Only 1 goal though, scored against SuperSport United.
We mentioned that he's able to play at right back as well. Today being deployed further forward up the field, and Storon plays alongside him on that right-hand passage for Arrows.
The rules, of course, state that if the temperature is high enough, the match commissioner orders a water break midway through the half. If needs be, he could even do 2 in and a half. There's Musa Bilankulu, who you'll remember as a fabulous, tough defender in his time with Arrows.
And I think that Golden Arrows will be happy with what they've seen so far. Nice and disciplined, nice and compact. They've been defensively not really allowing Orlando Pirates to threaten them.
You can see it's sweltering out there. It's 30 degrees, so that's hot enough, but the humidity here is also really, really tough for these players. Skrima Shabalala in the middle, Orlando Pirates coach, Kaizer Chiefs coach, Mamelodi Sundowns coach. Not many have that on their CV. Ted Dimitri, I think, had the same. Skrima was Bafana coach as well.
He's alongside Mpumi Koza.
On the right-hand side.
Yep.
So basically those two are sitting with Stan.
There we go. There's no Teko up there. Teko, go and assume your position. There's a space for you there.
missing a number plate. This might be the place to come and have a look. There's a lot of dedicated fans here who've spent time and effort putting their regalia together. And of course, you guaranteed that we will show you if you come with a poster with SS on it. That's a fail-safe. No surprises, all fairly languid given the temperatures. We resume after the water break. Tehran gets the free kick. He was a little bit dramatic in the way he fell there. There was a wry smile as he got up. First played in the top flight with Highlands Park when they got promoted. Cross down the line up to Zwane. Nhlanhla Zwane joined from the University of Pretoria at the beginning of the season. Here's Tehran. Early ball in. Van Rooy's in support. Tehran, Van Rooy now. There's the cross delivered early. Sibia, the skipper, will have support from Cross. In from him, over the head of Moon. That was a fairly inviting ball. Van Rooy almost nicked it away. Now, Otladisa. And Ndlondlo.
Well, you can see immediately how the Golden Arrows players get back as soon as they lose possession. Pirates just moving the ball too slow from side to side. They won't be able to open up that defense of Golden Arrows. They're going to need a little bit of width, and that'll ask the likes of Hotto, Makaringa to be further forward, and then possibly revert to that direct ball, trying to pick out Mapopa.
Bit of a wayward header from Sibisi, but rescued by Buthelezi. Now Olisenda, last season injured for most of the campaign, back in the contention. Kimbudi, what's happening there? Penalty. Caught late. And the Congolese has won a penalty here for the visitors.
This is the second time he found some space in the passages. First one ended with an attempt on goal, and you can see Shitolo coming there from behind.
He missed this, Shitolo didn't really connect, and it's the follow through that catches Kimbudi. Not the most convincing of fouls, almost nicks him on the shin, but enough, according to the referee, to warrant a penalty.
Excellent work there from Gambidi. I think Shitolo's hand actually hit the back of his leg. I've seen him go to ground.
Maswanganyi is given the responsibility. He's got a couple already in this campaign. Last season, his first full season in the DSTV Premiership with SuperSport United, failed to score any goals. But they seem to be coming in now for Patrick Maswanganyi, and he has a chance for another here. Study of concentration up against Rumwano's only been in the league this season for 30 minutes and already has to face a spot kick. Maswanganyi, chance to give Pirates the lead, and he does so. Enough power to bang it in the back of the net, and the Buccaneers are ahead here.
That was excellently dispatched there from Maswanganyi, getting his third of the league campaign. Steps up to slot home a penalty that was conceded. And the movement of the substitute Kimbwidi chose his spot. No chance for Mlungwana this time, as Maswanganyi gives Orlando Pirates a lead.
Scored against Cape Town City and against Polokwane City. Also got one in the Champions League against Jabal from the Comores. Almost stolen away by Dlondlo. Otladisa gets there. Orlando Pirates with the goal. Now the pressure is on Arrows to produce something. That ball from Zwane is too strong.
The Arrows are going to have to commit more men forward, be a bit more adventurous. It will open them up and be susceptible to conceding more. But this is that movement from Kimbwidi. Bravery, tried to just get ahead of Shitolo. You can see the hand touching the back of his legs there.
Yeah, he does seem to strike him on the shin as well with the foot. Catches him there, or just on the knee.
Yep.
Edwin Shitolo played 2.5 seasons at Orlando Pirates. Started his career in 2009 already with Jomo Cosmos. Season before last, Arrows actually didn't renew his contract and then brought him back to the club last season after a couple of months out. Van Roy looking for Tlolani. Those combinations just not working for Arrows at the moment. Pressure on Tim. Butalezi's gone and walk him out. Makaringe.
SABC calling for calm there. He'll be focusing on a good performance here today to convince Hugo Broos to select him for the AFCON.
Yeah, particularly as he's no longer guaranteed a regular spot in the Pirates lineup. This competition with Tapelo Koki and also with Ndar. Offside against Hotto.
That was the type of ball that unlocked the defense, because Arrows are playing with a high line defensively. Kimbwidi finding space in behind, and this time Hotto trying to exploit that space left in behind the defense.
So if it stays this way, Orlando Pirates will be up to 3rd in the DSTV Premiership, and then looking for points against Stellenbosch at home in their last game of the year. Remember, final match of the first half of the season is on New Year's Eve. It's the Cape Town derby, Spurs against City, and then all the clubs break for some 6 weeks for the Africa Cup of Nations finals. A 2-week build-up towards the tournament, which starts on the 13th of January, and then all the way through the final is on the 11th of February. Then it's pretty much downhill to the end of the campaign for everybody, and they'll have to squeeze a lot of games into a handful of months, plus the Nedbank Cup, plus if the likes of SuperSport and Sekhukhune and Mamelodi Sundowns are through in African club competition, that just complicates matters for the fixture list.
And we'd want the South African teams to advance to the finals of the different continental competitions, yeah?
SuperSport have lost their first 3 games, so they don't look as if they're going to be going much further, but Sekhukhune is still in the mix. Sundowns will be fancy to go through. It'll be a bit of an upset if they don't. Here's Maswanganyi looking for his second. Strikes with the right foot, with the left foot I should say. Was blocked by a posse of players in green on the edge of the area. Now Tlolani looking to get things going. Cross pushing forward. Got Sibia to his left. Cross looking for the return ball. It's more of a decoy. there.
With the goal to the good, Orlando Pirates, no need for them to rush forward. They can take their time now and just manage the game.
Crowd like a bit of entertainment too, and Otladisa's the kind of player to provide one or two flashy moves. Now Moon, Tlolani looking at options. Sibia on the left is possibly the best one. He has the skipper forward, drags it back. Sibia, Tlolani, that's poor.
Promising attack. A little bit rushed there. Tlolani playing it wide to Sibia. Just held off the ball towards him. A little bit hard, but technique all wrong there for Tlolani.
He's got 8 career goals, Tlolani. The last one, however, was for Maritzburg against Arrows in May 2021. So 2.5 years since he found the back of the net. Obviously a little rustiness there. Under 10 minutes to half-time. Good steal from Zwane. And then the free kick goes his way. Long-range efforts, not going to test Buthelezi.
Clearance there from Miguelton. Zwane with a ferocious shot there, just couldn't manage to get it on target.
In his defence, Tlolani was almost coming across his target, and he did knock it well over the top. Left
5 dominating the completed passes are Orlando Pirates as they remain patient and move the ball from side to side in midfield.
Maswanganyi now. Over the head of Hotto, the keeper makes a bit of a hash of that, and Tehran will come away. No danger for Arrows, but not all that convincing from Mulungwana, who's come into the side for his first outing of the day. It's one of the changes that the coach has made, Mabudi Kanyeza, just to try and freshen things up, and that's not going to keep you in the lineup, that's for sure.
Made a bit of a hash of that, didn't Wana? Sibia dropping deep now just to get a touch on the ball and try to get things going for Arrows.
There's Ndwandwe as well, much further forward than we used to seeing him. Sibia in his 10th season now with Arrows, and just over 100 starts in his career. He averages less than a third of the starts every season for the team. He's just a player of great skill and potential, but a little bit inconsistent. And Ndwandwe over time has had injury problems, particularly with shin splints. Been a bit more regular the last couple of seasons than Ndwandwe, but another long-serving player at Golden Arrows.
We got him dropping deep there, trying to pull the strings in midfield as he normally does.
Good run down the side here as well, but cover defence from Manchignani. Again, his career at Free State Stars, highly rated centre-back. They've had some good ones over the last couple of seasons. Sabisi, of course, and then Zuke, who had a meniscus problem that kept him on for a long time. He only made his comeback in the last game at Chipper United. He's on the bench today. Ndlondo! Left-footed effort is well wide. Always reminded when he strikes from that range, the goal that won the Nedbank Cup for TTM.
We're at the Cheetah Stadium here in blue. And when he catches them, they can end up in the nets. In Ndlondo is playing today alongside Tim. A little bit further forward, Tim been given the duty of playing that 6 as he joins the attack and assists Kimbwidi centrally.
Ndwandwe now to Ron, or Thuron if he was in America, in Hollywood. Get a little bit of a knock, Hotter, somewhere down the line. Manchignani again, looking for options. On the left-hand side is Bradley Cross. Sibia comes to pick it up. Now, what can he conjure up here for Arrows? Trailing with half-time beckoning. Taron. Ndwandwe's ball, looking for Van Roy, who had the last touch. Nda. Up to Moon. Brought down, penalty! So a chance for an equaliser. Sibisi gives away the spot kick. There are no complaints there at all from Orlando. And a chance now for Arrows to break this long clean sheet streak for Orlando Pirates. What do you think of that?
Yeah, just trying to stab the ball away there, did Sibisi. Ryan Moon putting his leg in the way, and there was contact, and I think the refs got it right there, Mark.
Yeah, more convincing than the first one. 1 goal in the last 5. This is an easy opportunity to make it 2 in 6. Who's been given the responsibility? Looks as if it's Van Roy. Or is it? Will it be Ndwandwe?
And just looking at that foul again, there was no reason for Sibisi. There was no danger at all. Ryan Moon was moving away from goal. There wasn't too many green shirts in the box, so totally unnecessary there from Sibisi. Lapsing concentration.
Now, is it Sibia, the skipper? There have been 3 of them who've been interested in taking it, and then it is Sibia who will be given the responsibility. He got 4 last season for Arrows, Nduzo Sibia. Total of 20 career goals for the club. Can he add? Just before half-time, Sibia to equalise potentially for Arrows against Buthelezi. Let's see if the home side can get back in the game. Yes, they can. Superbly taken. And that's a rare thing these days for Golden Arrows. The ball in the back of the net. They will relish that just before half-time. A huge confidence booster. Good job done by Ryan Moon as well.
It was an excellent taken penalty there from Sibia. Gets his 2nd of the season. No chance for Buthelezi. Top bins, side netting. Open up the shot with an instep. And he gets the equaliser for Golden Arrows.
We've seen a lot of penalties this weekend. I think that's the best of the lot.
100%. Such a difficult technique. Need the confidence there. Hard and low is always the way to go. But it takes a confident man to put it in the top of the net. And Sibia.
Pirates were looking in cruise control when they gave away that kick. Now suddenly there's a wind in the sails here. Trolane, and another pass that's overhit. Van Rooy's done very well to keep this in play. Taking on Hotto as a bit of support. That's really asking a lot of Zwane, and Zwane keeps it in play. Now, drag back. Oh, Trolane indecisive. He needs to hit it first time. Van Rooy does. It's stuck there for Moon. He might get a second bite here. And then the whistle sounds. A little bit unpolished there from Arrows, somewhat indecisive.
Yeah, this is a Trolane. Sixes and sevens there. A bit scrappy. Moon tried to get it in there. Makaringa in the way.
Yeah, the referee didn't like Moon's lunge in there to win the ball, and so a relieving free kick for Orlando Pirates, suddenly under some pressure. They'd be irritated, I fancy, Jose Rivera, with the way that penalty was conceded. Mandla Nikazi next to him, of course, was the coach here at Arrows, not once but 2 spells, and played at this ground in his days as skipper of African Wanderers.
Sure would have come up against him, playing for Wits University back then.
Well, if you don't remember him, he didn't kick you hard enough. Thunder Royal Zulu also played a few games here for a while at this particular venue. Cross gets in there, but Masanganyi turns, tries to lay it into Ndlondlo. Now Hotto, the chase is on here with Van Rooy and Buthelezi. Trolane has possession. He knocks it into touch because Sportingly will allow some treatment here for Kimbudi.
See what happened there. Yeah, just tangling between the legs, between Zwane and Kimbudi.
Ball is returned by Pirates to Arrows. Referee says that's enough for the first half, so Jose Rivera into the change room, mumbling to himself, I'm sure not happy with the way they conceded that goal. But they certainly were looking well in command, were the Buccaneers, until Sabisi conceded the penalty, and Nduduzo Sibia made it 1-1. It was a penalty converted by Maswanganyi that gave Pirates the lead on the half-hour mark. But the two sides here will go into the break level pegging. Chance for Pirates to go up to 3rd place, a chance for Arrows to end a 5-match losing streak. And there's still another 45 minutes to go here at Hammersdale. 1-1 is the score.
It's Betway Bamba 13 jackpot time.
Julia just needs one more result from 13 games. If she gets this last one right, she'll score 250,000 rand. Let's see.
Oh! Come on!
Yes! Yes! Woo! Now that was the nail biter. Ujulia Ibambile. All thanks to Betway.
Congrats.
Immerse yourself in a world of opulence and indulge in the art of luxury. Rich and smooth, elegant and sophisticated. Its depth and complexity is unmatched, creating an unforgettable experience. Crafted in the heart of France, an embodiment of excellence. Voted best cognac in the world, the Cognac Masters London. Honor cognac above all else.
Mom,
Are you coming home, Tanam?
tickets are so expensive, Mom.
I miss you.
Mama.
Girl, I better see you, Guacoco.
You're gonna see even more of me.
Poison, wait till I pull out, fam.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Share something amazing this festive. Get the On the Triple. That's 3 large pizzas available in 6 flavors for only $269.80. Dibonese Pizza. Try something amazing.
It's time for La Liga.
The cross takes a deflection, it's into the back of the net.
Celebrate the best of Spanish football every week on your World of Champions Super Sport. Only on DSTV, the home of La Liga.
You're the most beautiful tree in the world.
Then we'll see if the knee will hold up.
The home of festive.
Hollywood bets ready to take to the skies.
Aviator, you're cleared for takeoff. Second bet, coming in hot. Keep your eye on those multipliers.
It's on now.
Remember to cash out when you're ready.
That was crazy. I'm cashing out. Woo! See you back at base for the next round. I'm going big with Hollywood bets.
Aviator, it's your chance to win up to 10 million rand per flight. Hollywood bets. Fly higher with us.
Who wants McDonald's?
No.
It is 1-1 at the halfway mark. Abafana Besende and the Sea Robbers. Both teams are getting penalties and successfully converting them. That has been the big difference between the two sides. Welcome back, Sila Ehemasdale at the Mpumalanga Stadium. I'm still joined by a great panel, Stanton Fredericks as well as Tiko Modise. Tiko, let's get your summation of what transpired in the 45 minutes, key moments, fouls committed and penalties.
Yeah, I think maybe Stiga saw the game a little bit different, but I saw a golden arrow that sits a little bit on the half spaces, allowing Orlando Pirates to have the ball in their own half, but also they have the pressing moments where Orlando Pirates enter into spaces where Otladisa has the ball. There's always a third on trying to press a little bit. In the beginning of the game, I think also with Kimvuidi as well, had a lot of opportunity, a lot of spaces, but I think Golden Arrows tried to correct that. I think this one is the first incident where Kimvuidi was on the ball. Yes, he made that forward run, and then he, with the skill that he has, he dribbled inside the box, of course, with the left shot. I think there was a touch there, but those are the only balls that I saw Orlando Pirates playing over the top, because that was the space that was given then.
That's, yeah.
100% agree with you, because they're so compact, but they're brave enough to keep a high line. Unfortunately, that was to their demise. We see this was the first time Kimvuidi got it in behind the passage with an opportunity on goal. And then again, what a tame effort here from Hotto.
Yeah, I mean, the distance was too far. There was not enough power in it. Of course, you can see the idea behind it, but you need a little bit of power there to be able to trouble the goalkeeper.
I was about to say, in terms of Kimvuidi, that's the reason why he was the impact player, but also it is the opportunities that Orlando Pirates has been getting, even from the free kick, but it is in when they do breach that defense for Lamonvo Golden Arrows that it forces them. Gladwin Shitolo on Kimvuidi.
Yeah, when you say breach, you say in behind the defense, and that's the second time he made that one very effective. And Shitolo, I think he actually just missed the ball, but I think the momentum just followed through and caught Kimbwidi.
Yeah, I think so too. I think what's important as well from this clip is this is the second time you see Kimbwidi making the run behind the defense. The first time he dribbled the player inside the box, he had a shot, the goalkeeper touched it. The second time he causes a penalty for golden arrows, which means it tells you the importance of that space being taken. And whenever Orlando Pirates are aware of that space, they actually do that. But this is also an equally converted, confident player converting the penalty. Tito.
Patrick Maswanganyi to you at home, but you look at how it is, and something that Diko was talking about is that you welcome back in Nkosinati Sibisi, you have a Ryan Moon that will milk that opportunity, Stega.
Yeah, that's the basics of a striker we've seen there, but let's just look at how it was finished. Captain stepped up, what a goal.
I mean, as I was telling the Rato offer, I said, he doesn't miss penalties. Yeah. He's so comfortable, he's so confident because he's got the right technique. You look at the height, he knew exactly what is it that he was doing. But also speaking of the penalty, Ryan Moon controlling the ball, seeing that the ball is exposed, stretching his legs, stretching the leg out, hoping that Sibisu will actually commit, and that was a clever way to end a penalty.
And that is why Coach Mabudi Kanyeza opted for Ryan Moon, maybe in terms of having a Knox Motizwa. The opportunities more for Orlando Pirates, especially on target, but when the Montville Golden Arrows did get that opportunity, they made it count. The ball possession for Orlando Pirates, we speak about those box entries as well, Stiger.
Yeah, totally dominant performance in terms of possession for Orlando Pirates, but Arrows is allowing that. They want them to do that, and they're not hurting them. They're keeping it nice. The only danger is that space in behind the defense that Arrows is going to have to guard against.
Could you then say, Tiko, that maybe they're trying to set them up for those pressing traps where they want them to have possession but in front of them?
They want to. I mean, of course, if you want to press high against Orlando Pirates, you're opening a gap. That's where Kumvidi, Mahopa's going to make those runs. So you need to have a balance between those spaces as well. Once you get into that midfield, that's why you need Ndwando Zwana to be able to bite a little bit to win the ball. But it's unfortunate because now you want to use Van Rooy on this right-hand side. The pace between him and Hote becomes very difficult. But imagine Van Rooy going on the other side where he now forces Emma Karinge to defend a little more deeper.
All right, so let's look at available options on the bench for both of these teams, Stiger.
Yeah, I think of Orlando Pirates, they're probably going to make a change, but later in the second half, maybe take out Otladisa, bring in somebody fresh, Saleng, maybe Lodge. I think for Arrows, Tolani has been a bit hesitant. Yeah. I don't know why Mutizwa doesn't play with Moon. It's always one or the other. I think if they really want to get something from this one, throw on Mutizwa alongside Moon.
Yeah, and that is what Tiko was saying in terms of Tolani, a bit indecisive in key moments of the game. Well, with that said, we await for the second half in this game. It is a Lamontville Golden Arrows and Orlando Pirates right now equal on 1 goal apiece. Will they change come the second half? We'll have to wait and see.
Galaxy A Series. Awesome battery for unstoppable entertainment.
Discover if Lady Luck is on your side with World Sports Betting Spin and Win promotion. You could win your share of a whopping 15 million rand in prizes. Earn a free spin on our virtual wheel daily when you place a bet of 5 rand or more. Head to wsb.kaizer and start spinning. World Sports Betting. Bet with the best.
Our fuel can go in this car, and this car, and this car. Maybe not this one, but definitely in bikes, Meneer. You call people like this Meneer. So no matter what you drive, ride or fly, we have the right fuel for you. Choose Astron Energy Core-Tech fuel for your drive today. 4-in-1 technology in every drop for every engine. With over 854 quarts in the next few years, we are South Africa's next biggest fuel brand. Welcome to Astron Energy.
The Carabao Cup careers towards a colossal crescendo with an enticing lineup of quarter-final clashes.
It's Willock still going to finish it off, and what a finish that is as well.
Can last season's runners-up continue their pursuit of glory at Stamford Bridge?
Raheem Sterling! Unbelievable!
And will the resolute Reds take a significant step closer to a 10th title against the Hammers?
Nunez takes it on! Oh, a sensational goal!
Catch every exhilarating minute of the Carabao Cup live on SuperSport. Stay connected to DSTV, the home of football.
Well, I mean, it's simple. In this game, you got to defend like Trojans, and if you're taking your team to the top, you need the right partner.
Spot on, Potty. That's why Ratau funeral giant Baraka chose Outsurance. He says the monthly savings is a bonus, but the service from the Outsurance broker makes all the difference.
There we go, sports fans. A real
Royal Flush Gin. 5 times distilled. French luxury.
Royal Flush Lux Amber Gin. French luxury.
Look at that. Grab a fry.
And Arrows very much back in this now after Sibiya equalised on the stroke of half-time. Maswanganyi scoring for the Buccaneers after 30 minutes of this match. Neither side would be content, one would presume, with a share of the spoils today. It would mean Pirates do go one place up to the table ahead of Stellenbosch on goal difference. If it stays this way, Arrows would move above Kaizer Chiefs into 6th place from their current standing at 7th. And I'm sure there might be some change to the scoreline in the second half. So Arrows attacking the goal to the right. Moon is away, but the flag is up. He's offside. Ryan Moon back in the lineup today in place of Knox Mutizwa. There were 4 changes made by Arrows coming into this match after losing to Chippa United in their previous encounter. 3 changes made by Orlando Pirates, despite the fact that they won against Galaxy in their last match.
I think Arrows will be the happier of the two sides getting that goal just before the break. After just having 1 shot on target, the Arrows playing second fiddle for most of that first half.
Challenged by Nda on Moon, and the first yellow of the day, and that's Nda's 3rd of the season.
Yeah, not sure. Oh, I think it's the elbow, yeah. Elbow at the back of the head there on Brian Moon.
Spoke to the match commissioner at half-time. He was happy with the 2 penalty decisions. Contact on both players who went down. Moon for Arrows and Kimvudi for Pirates. So Sibiya, the skipper, delivers the ball. High one to the back post, looking for cross. Perhaps a little too much on that from Duduzo Sibia. They certainly are a club in need of a pickup, Golden Arrows, and that penalty will certainly help their cause. And as a coach, you really feel under threat with 5 successive defeats. You know, you cannot afford too many more. They have TS Galaxy home here on Saturday in their next encounter. They finish the year away at Morocco Swallows. First game back in early February will be, or mid-February, will be against Mamelodi Sundowns for Arrows. Now a chance here for Makgopa, lays it in, and in, oh, missed by Ndlondo. Wow.
Wow, you can say that again. The goal was gaping there from Ndlondo. Brilliant work there from Miguel Tim. Nice turn there from Makgopa, laid it in the path of Ndlondo. All he had to do was slot it in the back of the net, tried to go for the opposite corner, and horrific miss there from Ndlondo. Should have done better.
That is well wide of the target from Ndlondo. The man in the middle, corner it will be. Well, he's still running through that in his mind, Ndlondo.
Yeah, he knew he should have done better. I could understand what he wanted to do. Try and hit the ball back where it came from. But the other angle, the left-hand side, was open. And he knows he should have done better, Ndlondo.
His only goal this season was against Sekhukhune United in that 5-0 thrashing in the MTN8 right at the beginning of the campaign. That was a game full of penalties as well. Sibia, it's cleared away by Tim. Taron heads it back into the danger zone, and it'll be a goal kick. Now Sibia, short little touch here, looking for Tholane. What's the decision from the ref? Free kick in favour of Arrows. 2 ex-Maritzburg teammates there, Makaringa and Tholane. Tholane only played 7 times in all of his years with the Orlando Pirates. They sent him out on loan 3 separate occasions to Maritzburg. Just one of those forgotten players when he was at the Buccaneers. Cross. Header away from Ndar. They'll settle for another throw-in. You want someone to get a little touch onto the long throw from Cross. The near post is Ryan Moon. Foul goes against him. Now Hotto to Kimbudi. Strong challenge from Ndwandwe. Maswanganyi. Kimbudi finds Makaringa. Has he got the corner?
Good tracking now there from Zwane. Makaringa. Not often foraying forward there, but this time trying to get the cross in.
23-year-old Zwane. Started at JDR Stars before he moved to Tuks last season. You remember they had a fairly strong push on promotion and sold a number of their players at the end of the campaign to top-flight clubs. Lungana will be looking a little into the sun here, so it might be an opportunity. It's far too strong though. Floated ball looking for Makgopa. Otladisa. Still Otladisa. Finds Kimbudi. Maswanganyi back inside again, and looks as if it was Chitolo who got stuck in there and cleared away.
A good interception. Pirates doing well to get the ball into the box there. Tried a bit of trickery, but Chitolo on hand managed the danger. Looks like the tempo wants to pick up as both sides start to look for that second goal.
Atladisa loses out. Now Moon past the one challenge of Ndar. Makaringe down the line. Makgopa. Full of confidence these days, Makgopa, having won a place in the Pirates lineup as well as the national team, keeping Zakele Lepasa on the bench. Kimbudi. Maswanganyi, yes, there's a chance. Flag is up.
I think that's going to be close, Mark. Brilliant stuff here from Maswanganyi. Yeah, well spotted there from the assistant referee.
Yeah, it was a tight call, but a correct one. Sibisi. Maswanganyi. Pirates will be hoping to hold the ball for an extended period, but there's a good bit of pressure here from Arrows. They've eliminated a few now. Let's see Sibisi push forward. Miguel Tim. That could have been a mix-up, but it was obviously a good call from the goalkeeper.
They're better this time. Remember the first half where Mwana made a meal of it. Growing in confidence is the goalkeeper.
Flags up again. There's a fair amount of support here, as you can hear, for Orlando Pirates. Not happy with that decision.
Yeah, I think it's crossed on Maswanganyi, or the ball just went out for an out ball.
Now they could be in a bit of trouble. Here's a chance for Ndlondlo to make up for the early error. Lays it back. Maswanganyi. Kimbudi gets his first goal. Pirates back in the lead. Well, they were queuing up there. And Ndlondlo first. Then a chance for Maswanganyi, and third time lucky.
And once again, lacked in concentration there by the defence, and Orlando Pirates punishing the opposition. You just feel it was coming for Kimbudi. Had a save made, brought down for the penalty, but this time it's him that puts it in the back of the net. Mlungwane there, Makgopa closing down. Brilliant first time touch there. And Ndlondlo keeping the attempt alive. Maswanganyi's attempt blocked, and Kimbudi made no mistake.
He salter on a real dummy here as well. It's a left-footed finish from Kimbudi in the top corner. His very first goal in South African football in his second season in the DSTV Premiership.
Showed great composure there. Brilliant dummy there. Sent at least 3 defenders as well as Mlungwane in the wrong side. And an excellent finish from Kimbudi.
And now they've got to come from behind again, the home side. Karim Kimbudi restores the Buccaneers' lead here at Hammersdale. They lead by 2-1 early on in the second half.
He's operating close to Makgopa from a central position. We'd seen Maswanganyi go out wide.
Now the flick on from Makgopa. He's a real menace, played in by Kimbudi. Makgopa lays it in here for Otladisa. Held up again, this time by Maswanganyi, and Glondlo's in there. Gets the free kick, and there'll be... no, doesn't get the free kick.
No, I don't agree with this.
Well, he hasn't given Maswanganyi the yellow card just yet. Now he will, and it'll mean that Maswanganyi is suspended for the next game for Orlando Pirates.
Yeah, I'm not understanding why he goes to Maswanganyi. He tried to retrieve the ball.
Next
Okay, here we go.
match on Saturday against Supersport United.
So how is that a cautionable offence for Maswanganyi?
Well, the referee is claiming he was simulating, but
no,
I agree with you, Stenson. In the meantime, we have the first change on here. Ryan Moon is replaced by Lungelo Ngusi, also signed at the beginning of the season from the NFD. And they're making a like-for-like change up front, are the home side. Ngusi, a 24-year-old who played at Amatux last season, has got 3 goals already this season for Arrows. The last one, however, was in mid-September away at Cape Town Spurs. Sibia. No one in the middle there. Fans are enjoying themselves, and well they might. Their team restoring their lead. Now Arrows with Sibia. Good challenge there by Glondo. Says leave it to me. Now what can he set up? Maswanganyi to Ndlondo. Here they come, the Buccaneers looking for another wayward pass.
Yeah. Soft pass there from Ndlondo.
Hotter was onside. Play continues. Otladisa inside to Kimbudi. Makgopa, Maswanganyi. And Glondlo, he'd really like an opportunity to make amends for that earlier miss. Makgopa, Makaringe, the flag's up.
Makgopa's been excellent with his hold-up play. Brilliant vision there, just held on a little bit too late. Oh, that pass for Makaringa. They all wanting to get in on the action now. Makaringa following forward down the right-hand side. Chadisa not happy.
Yeah, I don't like that show of dissent, because he's very clearly, he's not offside, the man ahead of him. When you wave your hand, oh, he has a chance for Arrows, back in and oh, my word! Wouldn't have counted, flags up. Just as well, because that would have been embarrassing. Right in front of goal.
Yeah, that should serve as a wake-up call there. You could see Makaringa not following his man, but it was Sibia offside.
Linesman's flag was up well before he hit it. Certainly opened up this game, but the way Pirates have had possession on the edge of the area and been able to almost stand and try different options, that's a foul in favour of Otladisa.
There's some nifty footwork, but Hato just telling Otladisa, don't dribble here, dribble further up the pitch. It really came through him there. I think it was either Zwane or Ndwandwe not having his trickery. Turning around 3 or 4 men there, Otladisa. It was Tolani that caught him in the end.
Teenager when he made his debut at Platinum Stars. Otladisa last season at Maruma Gallants got to the semi-final of the African Confederation Cup. Unusually wild from Miguel Tim. Cross gets the header in. Down he goes, wins the free kick. Foul committed by Makaringe.
Makaringe just coming through there on cross. No sign of a shin pad.
Yeah, caught him squarely on the knee though. The roar you hear is Tembenkosi Lorch is coming across to change and possibly be on the pitch as Buthelezi drops it. He has cross with a chance to get it inside. Turns it in now. Up in the air from Sibisi. Up in the air from Zwane. It's aerial ping pong at the moment. Zwane with a chance. Doesn't hit it on the full volley. Lays it back. Tolani now looking for space. Zwane again. Against his own man. And Maswanganyi will come away with it. Only as far as Van Roy is dropped down. This is Cross looking for the return pass. Van Roy on the right. He has the ball into the middle. Laid back. Looking, Shitola was looking for Ndwandwe. They've committed a lot of players forward now, Arrows. They might get caught on the counter. Otladisa steaming forward. Still Otladisa. Cross back. Ref says play on. Here's the cross inside. Blocked by the defender. Pirates have got 2 players down on the park. The ball is still not out of play. Now Otladisa will get some treatment. I wonder if that's just not a rest for Otladisa. Remember, he hasn't played all that much.
I'm thinking the same thing. As he made a brilliant run from in his own half, went past 2 or 3 defenders, and possibly it's time to recover there for Otladisa. And this was earlier, Makgopa. Yeah.
Now, did he hurt his wrist there, evidence Makgopa? He does look to be in some pain. This is not good news for South Africa, hoping to have his services for the Cup of Nations. You need a player of his physical stature for these Cup of Nations finals, up against big West Africans of a similar stature.
Yeah, 100%, especially since I think Lyle Foster not sure if he's going to be eligible for selection. But he would certainly be needed.
Now Kimbudi gets away from Maswanganyi. First touch a little heavy. Tim to Makaringe. Just over 20 minutes remaining here in Hammersdale in this DSTV Premiership clash. Pirates well placed now to push up to third spot on the log table. Still be significantly behind Mamelodi Sundowns. But then that's the case with everybody.
Yeah, it's a 6-point gap there. SuperSport on 26, Sundowns 33.
That's all those games in hand as well. Sundowns playing in Egypt on Wednesday in the Champions League. And then back for Sunday's game away at Cape Town City. Triple sub now with Lepasa will be the obvious replacement here for Mahopa. And then he was going to make the changes, Nda to go off, picked up the yellow card. So he is replaced, I should say, by Koki. And it's been a good afternoon's work from Maswanganyi. He doesn't look too pleased about being taken off, but the minutes he's had under the belt this season suggest that that's not a bad idea, particularly in this heat. Now, here's a chance. Lepasa has 20 minutes to make a strong statement here. Has lost his place in the starting lineup for Orlando Pirates. And the roar, or the muted roar, I should say, for Temminkosi Loach as he comes on as well.
Some trickery there from Sabia. Makaringa getting caught.
Was there any contact there though?
Yeah, I think it was. I think he pulled him back with his hand. Totally bamboozled Makaringa did the captain Sabia.
No Ryan Moon up front, but still plenty of big players. Sabia, oh, that's completely overcooked. That's like a nice fillet on the braai that someone's just left there and absolutely charred at the end.
Some of us like it well done.
So Arrows coming into this game in danger of moving a step closer to an unwanted club record. They have lost their last 5 in a row. Their worst run is 7 on the trot in the 2013-14 season. That's when they got relegated. And if they lose this today, it'll be 6 defeats in a row. And that will not be good for Mabudi Kanyeza's continued tenure at the helm of the side. Kimbudi, Loach, a lot of talent out there now. Ndlondo, Koki, Tim. A challenge from Tehran. Otladisa went flying over the advertising hoardings.
The Pirates continued dominance in possession. even in goal attempts. And just that one shot on target for the Golden Arrows.
Just over 50 minutes remain now, so it's a big ask for Golden Arrows. They've got many more points on the road so far this season than they have at home. If they were to lose today, it would be their third defeat in 7 home matches this season. They've won 4 on the road, and that was in the early part of the campaign as well.
Yeah, he's not happy with the decisions, Abuti Kanyeza.
I think he's also not particularly pleased about what he might see as time wasting. What